Hello and welcome to episode 54 of Battlefield 4 News, and today we're going to be taking a look at some of the upcoming weapons from the Dragon's Teeth DLC. Much of this information has come from the Synthic.com forums, where they've been mining into various versions of Battlefield to see what they can find concerning the stats. Now, all of these statistics are liable to change before the DLC is actually released, but it should give us a good idea as to what is to come. So the first thing, and probably the most surprising, is the possibility of armed EOD bots. There would appear to be two variants of recon gadgets that are controlled with the PDA, one of which has a minigun, and one of which has the 3-shot 40mm grenade launcher. No one's exactly sure as to what format these are going to come in, but the closest thing I can find real life are these, which are essentially armed EOD bots. But it could of course be that these gadgets are stationary and they're deployed similar to the mortar. But nobody knows as yet, other than that there are files in there that seem to suggest that there are two recon gadgets, one with a minigun, one with a grenade launcher, and they're controlled by a PDA. Next we have the long-touted ballistic shield. So this is a two-handed shield which you can use, and it turns out that this is going to be a support class gadget, so you can't use it on any other class. Now the shield at various points has been called Sparta. Now this shield that you can see on the screen is a Spartan two-handed ballistic shield, so it's probably going to look something very similar to that. Stat wise of course is very different to any other weapon in the game, but it does 120 damage, it has a range of 2 meters, and it has a deploy time the same as most other gadgets, and you can hit somebody about once a second by the looks of it. Now it has a max health of 150, so this thing can be destroyed by shooting at it, and it has a destruction health of 100, and that combined with another model that's been found for the shield would seem to suggest that when it starts getting destroyed it will visibly show signs of damage. The first of the standard weapons is the Desert Eagle, which is made by IMI and Magnum Research. Now the version of the Desert Eagle we're getting appears to be the 44 Magnum, not the 50 cal. So we have a maximum damage of 56, which drops off to a minimum damage of 37.5. At 56 maximum damage, close up this will kill even if you've got body armour on in 2 shots, and will kill at all ranges in a maximum of 3 shots. It's got a rate of fire of 220 rounds per minute and a bullet velocity of 400 meters per second. It has an awful reload time of 3.2 seconds, and it's got a magazine size of 8+1. As you could probably expect from a Desert Eagle, the vertical recoil is awful at 2, with a 0.3 left and a 0.3 right. This thing is going to kick like a mule. But it does have twice the fire rate of the high caliber revolvers in the game, so if you can control this thing, it's going to do a lot of damage, especially close up. Next up we have the Unica 6, which in the real world is known as the Matiba Model 6 Unica. This is one of the very few semi-automatic revolvers in the world, and it's produced in Italy. Stats wise, this gun is going to do 56 damage, dropping down to 28, so it's going to go from a 2-shot kill close in to a 4-shot kill at range, but it will kill through body armour. It's got a rate of fire of 210 rounds per minute and a bullet speed of 440 meters per second. Again, it's got a horrendous reload of 3.6 seconds, and it's got a magazine size of 6. Its recoil is horrendous vertically, but has pretty good recoil left and right. So this would seem to be a slightly faster firing version of the Magnum, but it lacks the Magnum's long range stopping power because of its 28 minimum damage. Next we have the CS5, which in the real world is made by Macmillan, and it's designed to be an urban sniper rifle, and in game it is going to have inbuilt suppression. The CS5 pretty much follows the standard bolt action pattern, so it does 100 damage down to 59 damage, so it will headshot all ranges. It's got a rate of fire of 63, which is pretty good. It's got a bullet speed of 400 meters per second. Now that's pretty slow, but it's not bad for a suppressed sniper. Its reload time is pretty good, and it's got a magazine size of 10+1. Its recoil follows a very similar pattern to all the other bolt action snipers as well. So this is essentially a suppressed sniper, and if you compare it to a suppressed SRR61, then it's got a better bullet speed and it's got a better rate of fire. So if you want a suppressed sniper, this seems to be a good option. Next we have the Bulldog, which in real life is the short rifle stock systems Bulldog 762, and essentially what it is an M14 that has been redesigned into a new body. And what we get in game is essentially a hard hitting assault rifle, so the damage is 34 down to 25, so this is going to be a 3-shot kill dropping to a 4-shot kill at range. It's got a rate of fire of 700 rounds per minute, a bullet speed of 450 and a reload time of 3 seconds because it's a bullpup. Its limiting factor is its magazine size, which is 20+1, and its recoil is 0.55 up, and it's got a balanced 0.3 left and right. So the closest comparison to this in game will be the Scar H, which has the same damage model. However, the Bulldog has a higher rate of fire and a higher bullet speed, but it has a slower reload time, and it has slightly worse left and right recoil. Next we have the MPX, which despite its looks is not made by HK, it's made by Sig Sauer, and it's the Sig MPX machine pistol. And essentially it is a clone of the MP5, but with a slightly different bolt mechanism. And what we appear to have here is the Smith & Wesson .40 version of the MPX. So it's doing a damage model of 27 down to 13. It's got a rate of fire of 850 rounds per minute, a bullet speed of 340 and a reload time of 2.1 with a magazine size of 25. So it's a quite hard hitting PDW with a reasonable rate of fire, but it suffers on its bullet speed and its magazine size compared to most of the other PDWs. So those are the weapons we can expect in the Dragon's Teeth expansion. Now all the stats are liable to change because of balancing issues before launch, and if you want to look at the stats more carefully or join in the discussion, then go to the synthic.com forums. So that's it for this episode of Battlefield 4 News. I was going to bring you the community test environment news, but as it's already full within about half an hour of launch, I'll cover that in a later episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll bring you more news when it happens.